So we have a much more green day currently in the crypto markets over here. You can see the majority of the coins bouncing towards the upside, getting a little bit of relief, but not if you're in Rune, right? Rune currently down about 30%. So in today's show, we'll have a look at what exactly happened with Rune. We'll have a look at where it's going next. We'll have a look at the rest of the Bitcoin market, especially around the whole strategic reserve, which looks almost inevitable right now and seems like it is actually happening, right? It's just a question of when do they pass the final bill? So we'll look at that and a whole lot more. We'll look at where Bitcoin's going. We'll also look at Solana, which is currently in a bullish wedge over there, about to break out in a bullish pennant with a measured move upside target, which is going to take it a lot higher. So smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's get straight into the show content. That is your thought chain chart, right? Rune over there dropping down below the $2 mark in free fall right now. What exactly is going on? Well, first, let's look at the technicals. TA-wise, you'd be looking for theoretically a bounce from this exact level, despite the fear that's come into it. And essentially, I think this was a really good tweet coming from Rand, just explaining everything that's going on over here. I'm going to just go over the highlighted parts because it's a super long tweet. But basically, some people are saying that Rune is insolvent, right? The protocol is a decentralized cross-chain protocol, which is working perfectly and it generates fees, right? Therefore, it cannot go insolvent. However, what did happen was one of the team actually spoke about this, and they added an additional feature which allows for saving and lending, right? And basically, the risk that was around that materialized, and essentially it caused a problem, and basically the amount lost was 75 million, right? Around 75 million. So he says over here, now the team is pretty much forced to remove this feature, make the lenders and savers whole in some way, and then let the protocol do what it was supposed to do, which is native cross-chain swaps, right? That's essentially the crux of it. So a lot of people calling it Luna 2.0, but so far, at least, it doesn't look to be the case. TA-wise, would I buy the dip over here? To be honest, probably not. Just because it's shown overall weakness regarding what the rest of the market looks like. And I always advocate rather go for signs of strength. So if it does start to reclaim certain levels, great. I currently do hold a small percentage of Rune in my portfolio. So what am I doing? I'm just going to continue to hold, right? It was already a calculated risk at a certain percentage that I allocated. I'm going to continue to hold this position, and we'll reevaluate off of the bounce. But definitely, I wouldn't be a seller over here at $1.99. That's, if anything, the area where we'd be looking to enter into the market. So that's Rune for you over there. Now, why is Bitcoin rallying, right? Well, simply put, I told you, look to the stock market. If you want to see where Bitcoin's going, just look to what the stock market is doing. The stock market has had an absolutely stellar close, 6,118 points over there for the S&P 500 futures. Very, very, very strong. Eventually, there is going to be a pullback, right? You should expect that. But now we have a new all-time high close. This is the highest daily close ever recorded in the history of the stock market. That is bullish, right? Now, bullish price action doesn't mean that the number just goes up forever without any sort of a pullback. At some point, you will get a pullback, right? So the pullback levels so far are obvious. I think that the most significant level is going to be over here around the 6,000 mark. And if it pulls back from current levels, then I'd also be watching at that 50% level, which is coming in just below the 6,000 mark. And I'll update you on that each and every single day as the price action does unfold, right? So that is the stock market for you over there, looking really, really good. Yesterday was very choppy. I'm sure if any of you are looking at your portfolios, you went through these whipsaw effects of fear and greed all over again. Well, we did see some liquidations, but nothing as significant as what was previously seen when we had the flushes around here, where we had over $1 billion worth of market participants being liquidated, majority coming out of the long side, right? So this shows that, I guess, not too many people are willing to take leverage positions right now. And I think that this is a more accurate guide in determining where the fear and greed is in the actual market. Yesterday, we were having a whale room live Zoom session, and we actually got into the discussion around the fear and greed index, right? Which is currently showing greed. And I don't know about you, but if you ask me yesterday, I'll definitely be somewhere more towards the neutral to potentially even fearful zone over there. I think that at certain times, my emotions were dipping into fear with the way the market is currently playing out, especially in the altcoin sector. And then I did a little bit of a dig into exactly what constitutes the fear and greed index, right? So it's pretty much all stems from this 𝗠𝗤𝗕𝗓𝗓. And yes, it has been reliable in certain regards if you do focus on the dates where it corresponds with, extreme fear over here. But I think that there's a much more reactive sort of way to look at the market over here and to determine when to get in a little bit earlier, a much more sensitive metric that you can use, whereas I feel the sensitivity on this is maybe not quick enough for us who are in the markets each and every single day. So what does it utilize? It utilizes volatility. The problem with this is it constitutes 25% of the fear and greed index. And the problem is that volatility is direction neutral, which means what they're basically saying over here is when you see high buying volumes in a positive market on a daily basis, they conclude that the market acts overly greedy or too bullish, right? The volatility is direction neutral. Anytime you're seeing massive volatility spikes over here, they're pretty much skewing it in one direction. The other thing that they're looking at is social media. And unfortunately, the majority of their sentiment reads are coming from Reddit. And I don't know about you, but I've never used Reddit in my life. I'm pretty sure that the majority of crypto people are not on Reddit, right? And then they're using key phrases, right? Twitter analysis, they are using Twitter analysis, but they're only looking for certain words like Bitcoin, right? So when Bitcoin starts to get dropped a lot, then they deem that that's greed. But that's not necessarily always the case, because if you start to scrape for the word Bitcoin, you might be getting Bitcoin dumping, Bitcoin to zero, right? A lot of fear around Bitcoin. But when people are fearful, right, they actually take to Twitter more regularly than when they're greedy, because they want answers of where things are going next. So consequently, you're again skewing the data towards the greed side. They run surveys as well. This is on a platform called StrawPoll that they own. So strawpoll.com, which they own. So I don't necessarily think that this is a good metric to necessarily use. They look at the dominance. I do think that the Bitcoin dominance is a good indicator in the sense that when Bitcoin dominance is rising, typically altcoins are going down. So maybe there's a bit of merit in that. And then they also look at Google Trends, which I also think is relatively okay. But again, they're mostly searching for the word Bitcoin. So what exactly should you be looking at, right? So therefore, I think that, it works. The fear and greed index does work, but I don't think it's sensitive enough to change when we have these week-to-week moves where you get these massive drops. And like yesterday, you might have been experiencing a little bit of fear, but this was telling you that you're still in greed, on the verge of breaking into actually extreme greed. So what exactly can you do? You can look towards the funding rate. I think that this is a much more accurate measure, because this actually shows you if people are putting their money where their mouth is. If the market was in extreme greed, simply put, you would start to see traders opening up a lot of leverage positions, at which point you would get extremely positive funding. It's a much more objective means in which you can look at the data. And if we look over the last year, well, this has been a market that's rarely peeked its head into periods of extreme greed, right? The periods over here where you have, and we can just quickly highlight those areas a little bit better like that, the oranges and yellows, that's the periods where the market experienced a little bit of greed. I don't even think it got as bad as what we've previously seen, because we can actually use the histogram to see what happened back in 2021, right? And if you look at this over there, let's say on average, that's where the funding rate average close reached in 2021 to create that parabolic top. And we can actually measure this using the ruler, and we can go from that level down to the current level, and we can say, well, we're 93.8% down below where we previously were. So the question is, will retail market participants ever come back? Are we ever going to see the fear and greed reach the same levels that we previously saw, backed by, of course, in agreement with the aggregate funding rate, right? Only time will tell. At the end of the day, you can also use this on a much lower time frame, like the hourly. And what you'll witness over here is the hourly can help you to identify every single period of where you start to print one of those local tops, right? So if you look at this over here on the hourly, you can see you put in a bit of a top over there, you put in also a bit of a top over there, you come into this period over here, you put in a little bit of a local top over there, and then when it resets, that's typically the time period where the market is starting to get fearful, and you're probably looking to re-establish positions. So why is there fear within the market? Well, a lot of the fear is being driven, of course, what we spoke about yesterday around Japan raising their interest rates, which of course is essentially inevitable. But what is the reaction to that raise? Well, you can look at the Japan 225 index, which we spoke about yesterday as well. And yes, we got a massive smash towards the downside on the monthly scale back in August with the first raise. I think that was the initial knee-jerk reaction because that was the first time that they raised, and that caught everyone completely by surprise. Now this is going to be the second time that they've raised, and the majority of the market has now digested this entire move. We already got the backfill into the 50%, capturing that liquidity, and prices have closed up higher. Long story short, I think it will be a little bit of a nothing burger. I think that the fear is probably not as justified as what some may think that it should be, and you have price essentially just consolidating over here on the Japanese markets. And I think that most of the global markets are more interested right now in what's happening around Trump and the recent takeover of the US. So I think that's at least my take on this. Probably not going to amount to too much, right? But on the other hand, you have the DXY, which is really threatening to properly break down now because we already got a wick below that level. Yesterday, I outlined this yellow line is a very significant level. If we do get a daily close on the DXY below that level, you should start to accelerate towards the downside over here. And then you do have a little bit of support coming in at that moving average, which is the 200 moving average, right? So we'll keep a close eye out on this. But as we expect this breakdown to happen over here, this should bode very, very well for crypto, which is part of the reason, I guess, in alignment with what we saw over here on the stock market rallying, DXY comes down and consequently crypto starts to move up. Now, if the DXY does break down, it's been putting in a very, very similar structure when you look at the Bitcoin dominance over here, which we did create a new swing low. We have put in a lower high, but now we're chopping about over here, and the market is trying to decide what's next, right? So if we can start to see this roll over and reject from the very, very key horizontal level over here, that would open up the trading range where it could move down to about 49%, and that's going to be good for the altcoin market. We also had yesterday creating the volatility, the bull posting coming from Senator Cynthia Lummis over here. Big things are coming with a Bitcoin B over there on Twitter. She then followed up by saying, stay tuned for 10 a.m. We're all waiting. It was 10:05. Nothing happened. The market started to turn back down again. This is the patience of the crypto people. And so consequently, the bull posting continued, right? Honored to chair the Senate Banking Subcommittee on Digital Assets. And then you also had Trump who came out and spoke. So pretty much all good things happening over here. At least the stars are aligning. Can you believe moving from Operation Choke Point 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 to now this, where you have digital assets are the future. And if the United States wants to remain a global leader in financial innovation, Congress needs to urgently pass bipartisan legislation establishing a comprehensive legal framework for digital assets. And that strengthens the US dollar with a strategic Bitcoin reserve, right? I'm actually running a little bit of a conspiracy poll for you over there. Go through to the link in the description below. Let me know your thoughts. Is the deep state secretly taking over Bitcoin via MicroStrategy, BlackRock, ETFs, and the strategic Bitcoin reserve? Let me know 100% yes. You're wondering that yourself, meaning you're a little bit unsure. Bro, your tinfoil hat is falling. It's skew. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are around this. It is linked in the description over there. You'll find it. Because at the moment, things are moving very, very, very quickly, right? You even have CZ coming out, old CZ of Binance, right? US strategic Bitcoin reserve pretty much confirmed, he says. Crypto moving at the speed of light once again, right? Or the speed of crypto once again, which is like the speed of light. Things move very, very, very quickly. And then you had, of course, documenting Bitcoin coming out, showcasing where President Donald Trump is signing the executive order, right, to develop a new strategic stockpile for Bitcoin in the United States. Of course, you do get the note section, which is correcting that because, you know, crypto people like to bull post. We bull posted hard enough to even get the US to buy into meme coins, right? That is how good we are at bull posting. So let's check the community notes. He signed for digital assets, not specifically Bitcoin, as mentioned by the poster, but nevertheless, digital assets it is, which is pretty much in alignment with exactly this from Senator Cynthia Lummis. So a lot going on in the market. Things are unfolding very, very, very quickly. And at the end of the day, he did sign it. So only time will tell what comes next. But so far, so good. And we're following exactly according to the 2017 cycle over here. You can see purple, right? We the purple cycle right now. And if you follow the trajectory, Well, this is usually the part where things go absolutely crazy. I'm not convinced that we're going to get the same size gains that we did leading into the end of that 2017 cycle, because to put this into perspective for you, I mean, this was absolutely wild. I think at that time, Bitcoin went from at this time somewhere around like $3,000-4,000 straight to 20,000. Which I don't see happening for crypto right now. But so far, so good. We are following this trajectory. And at the end of the day, we do have a lot of momentum oscillators, volatility indicators, etc., to back that. And we're following also the trajectory of the up move that led into the 2021 peak over there. This is it over here. So we're looking for a big move up into the the $120 to $130,000 zone. The stochastic RSI on the 5-day is rising over there. Volatility is wanting to take off, and we're on the cusp of a really, really big move. Now, if bulls do want to take this onto the upside, they need to strike very, very soon. I speak about this quite often, especially more recently, so over the last couple of weeks, how the pendulum swings, right? Remember, the pendulum swings. The bulls have their opportunity to send price up. And if they fail to take that opportunity, the pendulum swings, and then bears will have the opportunity to break price down once again. So the window of opportunity for the bulls to start to take over is nearing its end, right? They really need to get this thing going if they do want to get it into this targeted zone of about $120,000 to $130,000. Now, if they don't, and the pendulum swings and the bears take control, it's again not a death sentence. It probably, though, just means a longer ranging market, which is further going to decline the volatility over here, and the momentum oscillators will probably just end up rolling over and resetting, frustrating crypto natives even further, right? It's really gonna be killer if we do see things roll over once again. So most of you are probably looking for something like that. The good news also, it's volume back. So far, the volume continues to maintain at these high levels, currently situated between the 75 and $100 billion mark. We really want to see this reclaim the $100 billion mark. Zoom out when in doubt. We're still relatively low. We are trending towards the upside, but we need to get way, way, way above what we saw back in 2021, which is still coming, right? Now, we still have the potential for the trend reversal on the lower timeframes, like the daily, which ultimately would bleed into the 5-day, which would lead to this explosive move towards the upside. And we've got what we've been looking for, which is ultimately the low. We had the lower high and lower lows and lower highs, put in the low over here, big bounce up, created the actual higher high, which took place over here. You can see candles closing higher than previously, wicks also higher than previously seen. High volume profile sitting with the points of control at $98,000, and ultimately price comes perfectly back into that zone, wicking slightly below the $100,000 mark, closing multiple candles above that high volume area, thus creating that high low. This was the base case, what we discussed yesterday while the rest of the market was panicking. And we said that lower probability case would be that you're not trending, but you're range bound, at which point you probably come all the way back down to this wick over here. And we don't want to see closing candles below. Otherwise, you may be going through macro distribution, right? So far, multiple closing candles above. Again, bulls need to take control now. They need to send this. They need to close multiple candles higher and higher so that we can maintain this uptrending structure, which has just begun, right? This is your first theoretical high-low. At what point do you confirm that this is in fact a high-low? Well, unfortunately, you have to wait for more candle closes above that level, which is pretty much above that $106,000, $107,000, right? If you start to see multiple candles close above that, this higher low is confirmed, and then you have the start of a new trend, right? Of course, there can be traps, there can be fake outs and things like that, but the probabilities would become lower. Now, you still have support from the 9 and 18 EMA sending price up. So again, just giving you a different viewpoint. This is why that 106K level is important. Get back above here, close multiple candles above, at least 3 daily candles above there, and then you've confirmed that trend reversal, right? And things are moving back up. So you found support in that golden pocket, which we spoke about. There it is, coming into the golden cross, right? The 50 and 200 EMA, you found that support over there, and price is moving. Same thing, it all just lines up with the daily. Closes above the top of the trading range is needed, right? Now, this has been chopping you about a lot. This is the USDT dominance. All that you need to know is that I mean, it's range bound, right? So expect that if it comes back down to the support level, the chances are higher that it's probably going to hold support and bounce again. Then the chances are that it's going to break below that support. But if we do start to get candles closing below the support level, that is where the fireworks begin, which is similar to what, of course, CZ spoke of over here, right? Where's that tweet from him where he essentially said, you know, crypto, there we go, crypto moving at crypto speed again. That's where you're going to get crypto moving at crypto speed again if you do start to see the breakdown of the USDT dominance, which we're still waiting for. Very, very, very close, but too soon to call it. We're not that close yet. So I recommend get your exchanges ready. If you don't have your positions intact, make sure that you use the link in the description below. You know, sign up to the exchanges. There are opportunities over here for sign-up bonuses as well. On CoinW, they're actually offering a massive $30,500 up for grabs. This is if you do, of course, deposit that amount of money, which probably most people won't. But realistically, most of you can qualify for between $70, $200, and even $1,500. Very, very, very easy. That's free money, right? Use the link in the description below. There it is, CoinW. Sign up over there, and you can buy most of these coins that we're about to discuss on CoinW. All right. The big area, right? The big, big, big area for ETH. Where the eyeballs have been for quite some time, right? We've left this area as a worst case scenario for a long period of time, and we've hit that level. But as you can see, there is a bit of a reaction, right? Is it enough? Only time will tell. Is it enough? You do have a little bit of a reaction over here. Honestly, I would not touch ETH until it breaks above this level. At the very, very least, because you know the saying, fool me once, you know, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. The first time you got fooled over here, fair enough. Everyone got fooled. The second time, it's your own fault. The third time, even more so your own fault. Do not be fooled. Rather just wait for the break of structure. At the end of the day, Donald Trump's crypto business is buying a lot of ETH. So food for thought, you know, maybe that means that they're going to start to pump this thing. But essentially, I'd wait for this, right? Big spike up over here against the ETH BTC ratio, get above 0.037, close multiple candles over there. And then we still don't buy, right? Wait for the next high low. If you start to print the next high low, you can have stops underneath. And then maybe you start to get this hated trade, right? High beta plays. We've spoken about this before on ETH is going to be 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬. We have Andy Landwolf, and then we have Bird Dog. Those are the higher beta plays, right? Okay, Solana BTC reclaiming back into the mid-range level over here. This was a massive trap scenario, shaking a lot of people out of their Solana position over here for price to only move up in a big way. Now, again, it's too soon to say whether this is going to choose the upside direction. Right now, Solana is starting to move, right? So you have this bull pennant. There it is. You got your pole. There you go. Price pretty much coming into this pennant. So not to say that you're going to break out right now on this 4-hour candle. You may get a little bit of a rejection, come back down one more time. And then if you start to get multiple candle closes out of here, that could lead to the breakout. So to give you a measured move for this particular trade over here, this could easily send Solana up to, I know it sounds ridiculous, but that is what the chart suggests, $380, right? So from current levels over here, if you do get the Solana break, that would be 46% very, very, very quickly, right? So it looks good. It looks really, really good right now. We'll continue to monitor this chart. Remember, chart patterns are not always that reliable. They can fail. They can fail, right? So also, I would have preferred if the poll was a lot longer. So let's just give it the benefit of the doubt for now, and we'll continue to monitor that particular trade. Going back to Rune, right? Live price action on Rune. Yes, it's coming down hard, right? Momentum oscillators theoretically could still go a little bit lower. I mean, you kind of have this bullish divergence over here, but these are unique circumstances. So level to level, right? That's why once you lost the pink box over here, we spoke about this being the obvious level. I've had this for the longest period of time. If you do end up losing that level, your next major support is going to be at the yellow line over there, which is at about $1.43. Okay, most of the time you do get, except if it's lunar, most of the time you do get some sort of a bounce reaction, just because speculators will speculate, right? Even if they're not in this project for the long run, they'll jump in and try speculate. So that is rune over there. Okay, we said, yes, Solana looks good. ETH over here, still trying to play out that inverse head and shoulders formation, which does also have a much higher measured move. So, that's about 68%. If ETH does do 68%, expect Solana should do a whole lot more. All right, what else? What else have we got over here? Let's see how Hype's doing. Hype, let's go on a lower time frame because of the chart history. It's still got some work to do. We did speak about this as well in the Whale Room Discord yesterday. A low time frame, it has the potential, right? The potential to be putting in those higher highs and high lows. You still need to see multiple candle closes now above that 25 level, right? This could be your high low, but this probably only happens if Bitcoin does really, really well today and you see continuation into the course of the weekend, right? So early stages still for Hype, but it tagged the level, right, coming into 21, respected that, held that level over there. Now you're on lower high watch if you're long, and if you're short, ultimately you need to watch that it's not going to break above that level and take you out. All right, let's see what else. What else have we got, guys? Let me know in the comments. We'll make sure to bring those up. I see some of you want to know about AVAX. AVAX hasn't performed the way it has last cycle. AVAX on the daily over here, you can see it's just chopping about that mid-range level, right? So as per my drawings from previously, I could make the argument that it has some similarities to the ETH chart. It's been very, very lackluster. You have your left shoulder, your head, potentially putting in a right shoulder, basically just a reaccumulation pattern over here. If it can start to get above $37, that is the first area where you can say maybe the lows in, the recent low, local lows in, and AVAX can possibly start to move back up. All right. What else? What else have we got? Some of you want to know about Phantom. You're asking about Phantom. So look, Phantom is downtrending right now. Let's just expand this a little bit. You do need to see this reclaim. Here's pretty much your reversal point, you can say, is confirmed if you can start to get above these wicks over here, especially on a closing basis. If you can get above about 61 cents and close multiple daily candles above there, that will increase the chances that it's actually respecting the yellow box, right? The yellow box is a previous SR flip region. So this was a big move towards the downside. So sometimes, right, you'll get these sharp reactions, but it's too soon to say. I wouldn't take a long on this unless it started to close above 61 cents like that. And then you have something to work with in terms of an invalidation. Otherwise, remember, trend is your friend till the end. That's your last lower high. Therefore, if it continues to put in lower lows, well, expect it's going to take out these wicks at 49 cents and go below that. That is on Sonic, right? I'm just charting Phantom because it has enough price history, but there's your Sonic chart. Okay, it all went south when you started to take out this big expansive candle, right? Okay, SUI. Let's have a look at SUI. Is SUI still range bound? Is it going to trend? So SUI has almost hit the target. I've spoken about SUI for a long time already, all the way back here, saying that it's putting in that lower high structure, starting to almost put in lower lows. I do expect still SUI to take $3.90 at the least. That's target one. Target two is down at $2.90. All right. Cool. Let's quickly go over Goku. Goku again attempting to push through this level, really building pressure like a pressure cooker into this resistance level. I think that this will start to explode very, very soon. I also want to let you guys know that with Goku, if you did sign up to CoinStats, which is the portfolio tracker, you'll now see Goku listed on CoinStats, right? So just establishing a little bit more credibility over there, doing very, very well. There's a link below for CoinStats. What is CoinStats? Remember, it's a portfolio tracker. You can get 50% off, right? You can get 50% off over there. Remember, this is what the mobile app looks like. So it tracks your positions. There it is. Okay, so it will track all of your various different positions. That is CoinStats for you over there. 50% off if you do use the link in the description below. And now Goku is reflected over there. So check that out as well if you want to. And let's continue. Let's go into the comments. What else have we got over there? We got Pepe. Let's have a look at Pepe. Altura, we can have a look at. Doge. Let's have a look at Doge. We haven't looked at Doge for a long time. Let's start off with Doge. Since Doge is one of the biggest memes out there, how has Doge been doing? All right, so Doge. Okay, it's just chopping about, still range bound. It's essentially forming a trading range over here between these levels. Let's quickly mark it off. There's one. And I would say that is your next main trading range. So watch for Doge. If you are interested in longing Doge, your best area of interest, still remember this is a unfilled level in terms of liquidity. Maybe if there is a bit of a sell-off and it drops down to about 28 cents, if you reclaim 30 cents, so if you drop down to 28, don't buy yet. If it reclaims 30, then you buy. Now you have your stop loss underneath 28 cents. And then the first trade is easy to the top side of the trading range. The second TPs and third TPs, you'd be looking for breakout beyond that point, right? So this would be one way that you can start to plan out your trade. You know, you're looking for something like this. If you do get that, there we go. You'd be looking at that. And why is this? What the hell is going on here? Why is this thing to the moon? Let's just see. Let's just drop this down. Where is that TP? 61,000. Is this thing crazy? Let's go to 50 cents over there. Okay, that is absolutely wild. There we go. Okay, there we go. So strange. This thing's acting up. There we go. So risk to reward wise, this would present you with a 4-to-1 trade, right? If it did play out on Doge, you'd be looking for something like that. So don't buy it over here. If it drops down, you get one more sweep down. I know percentage-wise, that would probably hurt. That would mean the rest of the market must come down a lot more. That would be 19% down. Okay. What else? Sorry, I missed a few now. Forgotten the other ones that you guys asked for. I'm just quickly scrolling up. Let's see. Okay. Some of you say you're buying Rune. Rune is at support theoretically, but remember, it is a weaker coin. That's just the reality. You have to call a spade, right? It has been a weaker coin within this particular cycle. All right. Cardano. We can have a look at Cardano. Here's Cardano. Cardano on the daily. So also just range bound, right? It actually looks similar to Doge, right? Doge had the falling wedge, also broke back into the range, had a face melting rally towards the upside. And then similar to what I just said with Doge, you're going to have this range bound environment, right? There it is. And similar to Doge, you also have the inefficiency candle below, which hasn't been filled. Yes, you could put the range high all the way at the top, but I'd rather just go with the most touch points to be conservative on that range high. So range low, 83 cents, range high, about $1.15. AIXBT, let's take a look. Here it is. Let's go to this one on Binance. Okay, it seems to be holding up okay. It's not too bad. It's clearly trying to defend this level over here. You can see the significance of the wicks from the around December time period. And now you can see the significance of the body candle closes. So looking for a little bit of a major low within this region. If you can start to get above these candles on the left-hand side on a closing basis, get above 74.8, so 75 cents, you would have pretty much confirmed this as a low, and then I would expect new highs. Okay. Link. Let's have a look at Link. I know that I think Trump's company as well, World Liberty Finance, are also buying Link. So these are some of the US coins that they're getting into. Let's just find that again. Where did Link go? There it is, which is the one with our chart history. There we go. Okay, there's Link, range bound, low all the way down at 17. You know, it looks similar to Solana. It's very hard to make any commentary on here. There's no trade opportunity right now. But if you're long, you have full confirmation of the breakout if you get above 30 cents. And if you get above 30 cents, you can start to target probably towards the highs, right, on Chainlink. But Chainlink is just one of those coins that has everything bullish going for it fundamentally, but the price chart just doesn't run. So you always need to make that decision. You know, are you a multi-decade investor? At which point I think it's very risky to dabble in crypto as a multi-decade investor, or are you a speculator, trader, short-term investor looking for gains? Then, you know, you need to go where the momentum is. The other question was around 𝗕𝗬𝗕. Let's go take a look at 𝗕𝗬𝗕. 𝗕𝗬𝗕 USDT. There it is. Okay. Very, very, very important. Same thing I said yesterday. It must very quickly reclaim 1740. That is the prior range level. You've deviated below. If you push up and you put in a rejection into this area, so if you push up and you put in a lower high over there, that's going to be pretty brutal, right? Then expect that this is going to drop down to about 1162. So that would end up being ultimately, around a 35% drop after that. All right. Okay, 𝗬𝗓𝗓, let's take a look at 𝗬𝗓𝗓. 𝗬𝗓𝗓 USDT. Here it is. Okay, still pretty brutal, right? Still pretty brutal. There's no energy in this chart. So you need to give it a bit of time, right? If you are wanting to get long on 𝗬𝗓𝗓, the real level to reclaim, you just need to start breaking some structure, right? Get above 18. Get above 1820. So you want to see this, right? And it might do it. It might just slow grind, right? You might just see some sort of a slow grind, but get above there, put in the higher high, and then possibly have a bit of a reversal of there. I still think there is a chance that this puts in the rounded bottom, like we've seen on so many of the other coins, essentially cup and handle formation, but it needs to maintain pretty much above each of these lows now. All right, let me know in the comments, guys, what else. I'll take a couple more requests while we wait for it. I do want to remind you as well, if you are in Whale Room, I've been very, very active in the Ask the Team section. You can see I've been answering all of your questions over there. So if you are in Whale Room, go through, answer the questions over there. If you're not in Whale Room and you want some access to free information, well, you can use this, right? This is the Whale Trades. If you go through to Whale Trades over here, just scroll through to the bottom over here. There it is. This is the Whale Crypto Trades newsletter. Click on that link. It'll take you to this page. We just wrote a new article, Your AI Agent in 10 Easy Steps, right? No code, all magic with 𝗕𝗏𝗏 on Solana. So 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a place where you can, of course, create these AI agents to do work for you. If you want to find out how that's done in a step-by-step fashion, this is what that article will show you. We'll show you exactly how to set it up. Go and familiarize yourself. This is completely free. If you want to take your knowledge to the next level and you want the rest of the alpha with the up-to-date, at least trades, as you can see, I showed the bullish pennant over here on Solana, and I've been updating each step of the way, right, with every single one of these trades and the live Zooms. Well, then you need to actually jump into the actual Whale Room. We will be closing it off, right? At some point, we're going to be closing it off. I'm waiting for the next breakout. The reason being is because we want a tight-knit community of like-minded people who are here through the lows as well as the highs, and not just people FOMOing into the market. Then they ruin the taste for everyone that's in there, right? If you have these latecomers that are fly-by-night tourists, I guess, to the space. So just so you know, when the market does actually break out properly and we do experience some sort of an alt season, chances are that will be closed off. So if you want to join, there's my CoinStats portfolio as well. You'll find all this information in here, and I'll do an updated one for you guys since Goku has also been added. All right. Okay, cool. Let's see. What else, guys? Wormhole. We have a lot of requests on Wormhole. Why is it that you want to see Wormhole, right? Let's have a look at Wormhole. I don't know if I've had a Wormhole request. So let's go to this one over here on Blowfin. Let's see. Okay. I mean, typical of a new coin as it launches, right? As the airdrop happens, as it launches, expect the 70 to 80% drop. IPOs in traditional markets drop 50% on average. Crypto does 70 to 80% on average. And then you expect a trading range to form, which is exactly what it did, right? So you have a bit of a trading range which formed over here. There's your range low. Basically, I wouldn't touch Wormhole unless it swept this and I was interested in a short-term trade like that. So sweep 1957. I would start to look for a long trade into the mid-range. Let's just chuck that in. There is your mid-range level coming in at about 28 cents. So you would take the long over here at range low, TP1, TP2, and you can leave some on the table in case it breaks out of that trading range and continues higher. But right now, it's pretty much at major support, right at the lows. Okay, that is Wormhole for you guys. Let's see, Altura. Okay, let's go to Altura. There's Altura. I think we had it on the other chart if it's not drawn up on this one. Let's just go on this one over here. Altura. Let me just double check. I think we had already. There we go. Altura, I said, currently it's on its way down. Wait for a little bit of a sweep of the yearly open, right? If you get that sweep of the yearly open and then reclaim, because this is your range-bound environment between 0.0944 and on the top side, 0.15. That's your range-bound environment. Sweep the yearly open, reclaim the yearly open. That activates the long trade, and then you can run it back up, right? So that is for Altura. Let's see, anything else? What else is going on over here? GME is up a bunch, 22%, but this is, you know, proper DGen coin over there. I wouldn't take that trade yet. How's Fartcoin doing? It's gone the daily. Let's actually go back onto the 4 hour. A little bit better information over here on the 4 hour. Still looks like that was a major top to me. You know, I do think that this can bounce, but I must say that looks like a major top. I would expect possibility of a complacency bounce, fall back into the trading range, make your way back down towards 50 cents. That's what I'd be looking at for Fartcoin. Okay. The gas has run out. The gas has run out. Okay, we have FOG. Let's have a look at FOG as well. Also one of the coins that got annihilated on the dump. Okay, major support, right? So anywhere around here, you're looking for some sort of a reversal on FOG. Similar to everything else, remember, just track those lower lows and lower highs and literally just wait for the reversal. Wait for the higher high, next higher low, and then you can start to get long. It's going to take a bit more time. That, as you can see, this will show you it's going to be a couple of weeks still at least. All right, let's go to 𝗓𝗓. Let's go on this chart over here on the daily. 𝗓𝗓. Okay, also bleeding out, range bound. Bleeding out means possibility of coming back down all the way to the bottom of the trading range. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but 25 cents, right? Alternatively, if it does show strength, you know, get back above 42 cents. So get above 42 cents, hold the mid-range, and then you can say you defended that level. But right now, this is just bleeding out, strong downtrend. All right, Goku picking up again, $25 million market cap. Can you guys believe it? This one's looking great. Absolutely phenomenal. I think this one's going to leave the station very soon. How much longer can this price be suppressed? So much relative strength compared to the rest of the market when you compare these altcoins. That is it from me, folks. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Hope you have a lovely day. Remember, check out Whale Room. Sign up to the newsletter. It's completely free. You'll gain all your information over there, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, and cheers for now.